You walk into a room and someone smiles at you. Wide grin, eyes crinkled, the whole performance. But something feels off. Your gut tightens, you cannot explain it, but you know. That smile is poison wrapped in politeness. This is not paranoia, this is pattern recognition. And if you can spot the micro-expression that flashes across their face in the first 5 seconds, you are operating on a level most people will never reach. You are reading the code beneath the code. You are seeing what they are desperately trying to hide. Most people are blind. They take words at face value. They believe the performance. They think communication is about what someone says, but that is the lie we have all been taught. Real communication happens in the gaps. In the flicker of an eyebrow, in the twitch of a lip, in that fraction of a second before someone can control their face. Micro-expressions last between 1/15th and 1/5 of a second. Blink and you miss them, but they are always there. They are the truth leaking through the mask. When someone lies, their brain fires off the real emotion first. Fear, contempt, disgust, anger. Then, milliseconds later, the conscious mind catches up and plasters on the fake smile or the rehearsed concern. But that initial flash is pure, unfiltered, honest. The problem is, we have been trained to ignore our instincts. Society teaches us to be polite, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to trust the words more than the feeling in our chest that screams danger. We override our animal brain, the part that kept our ancestors alive, because we do not want to seem paranoid or judgmental. So we smile back, we engage, we get burned. But there are people who never get burned. They seem to know who to trust and who to avoid. They walk into rooms and immediately sense the tension, the fakeness, the hidden agendas. You think they are lucky or intuitive, but the truth is simpler. They are paying attention. They are watching the face, not listening to the mouth. Here is what they see. When someone is lying or hiding contempt, one corner of their mouth pulls up slightly before they can stop it. Not a smile, a smirk. It is asymmetrical. One side, fast. It says I am better than you, or I am getting away with this. You see it in negotiations when someone thinks they have the upper hand. You see it in relationships right before betrayal. You see it in people who secretly despise you but need something from you. When someone is genuinely afraid but trying to act confident, their eyebrows pull together for a split second. The inner corners lift. It is brief. Then they smooth it out and give you the tough guy stare or the casual laugh. But you saw it, that flash of fear, that moment of vulnerability they tried to bury. Now you know. They are not as confident as they are pretending to be. They are bluffing. When someone is disgusted but faking interest, the nose wrinkles, the upper lip lifts. It is subtle, micro. Then they catch themselves and nod along, pretending to care about whatever you are saying. But that wrinkle told the truth. They find you or your idea repulsive. They are tolerating you, not respecting you. This is not theory. Psychologist Paul Ekman spent decades studying facial expressions across cultures. He found that these micro-expressions are universal. A tribesman in Papua New Guinea and a businessman in New York both flash the same expression when they feel contempt. It is hardwired. Biology does not lie. Culture can teach us to hide it, but the flash always happens first. The people who can read these expressions are not superhuman. They are just awake. They have deprogrammed themselves from the societal conditioning that says ignore your gut, trust the words, be nice. They have gone back to basics. Back to survival mode. Back to the ancient skill of reading intent beneath performance. And once you learn this, you cannot unsee it. You start noticing it everywhere. The colleague who congratulates you but flashes contempt. The friend who says they are happy for you but their eyes go dead for a fraction of a second. The person who claims they care but their disgust leaks through before they can hide it. You realize how much of human interaction is performance. Theater. Masks on top of masks. This makes you dangerous. Not in a violent way, in a strategic way. You cannot be manipulated as easily. You cannot be lied to without knowing. You walk through the world with a detector that most people do not have. You see the game being played while everyone else is still pretending the game does not exist. But here is the cost. Once you see it in everyone, including yourself. You catch your own micro-expressions in the mirror. That flash of contempt when someone says something you disagree with. That flicker of fear when you are trying to act brave. That moment of disgust you tried to hide. You realize you are also performing, also hiding, also leaking truth in milliseconds. And that is the real transformation. Not just reading others, but reading yourself. Becoming aware of the gap between what you feel and what you show. Between who you are and who you pretend to be. Most people never close that gap. They live their entire lives performing for an audience, never stopping to ask what they actually feel beneath the mask. The people who master micro-expressions do not just become human lie detectors, they become more honest. Because once you see how much everyone is faking, including yourself, you start to value authenticity. You start to gravitate toward the rare people who do not have a gap, whose words match their face, whose face matches their heart. These people are rare. Most humans are walking contradictions, smiling while seething, agreeing while disgusted, pretending while contemptuous. But the ones who are congruent, who are the same on the inside as they are on the outside, Those people shine. You can feel it. Their presence is different, solid, real. So if you can spot that micro-expression in 5 seconds, you are not just detecting lies. You are detecting incoherence. You are seeing the war between what people feel and what they show. And once you see that war in others, you cannot help but see it in yourself. That is the real power. Not catching liars, but becoming someone who does not need to lie. Someone whose face and heart are aligned. Someone who has closed the gap. Because in a world full of performances, authenticity is the rarest and most valuable thing you can offer. The micro-expression is just the beginning. It is the crack in the facade. The evidence that everyone is hiding something. The question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Are you going to use it to manipulate others, or are you going to use it to stop manipulating yourself? Most people will never ask that question. They will keep performing, keep lying, keep flashing contempt and disgust and fear while pretending everything is fine. But you are not most people. You see the flash, you know the truth. Now you have to decide what kind of person you are going to be in a world built on lies.